was trying to get a head start on this assignment and did not read it clearly and actually typed all of it out instead of reading it and realizing that you had to video it. So I am going to record myself kind of relaying and talking through what I typed, because I want to make sure that my point gets across as well as it did when I typed it. So I chose art for my disciplinary area, and I would say that artists typically communicate in really a variety of ways without having to really solely rely on words, spoken or written. Art is used to communicate things and feelings and other ideas that can't really be formed into words. And I think that this is a subject that has more leeway with communication and more options in how you can communicate. In a more literal sense, I would say that fellow artists communicate more in a in-person way using spoken language versus written or electronic forms of communication. I said that a way to provide students with scaffolded opportunities to engage in talk that mirrors talk typical in my discipline was just to use correct verbiage and ask consistently meaningful questions. So in the textbook on page 98, the book tells of a teacher asking questions and and she responds with, this gets the students thinking about some of the material that we'll be learning during the unit, and it gives me a quick way of gauging their background knowledge. So with that being said, I felt like communication can be really broad and done in many ways when it comes to art. I noticed that it helps when I use the talk to communicate approach by choosing appropriate times to communicate when both parties are available and also have the mental capacity to communicate. I know that especially with teachers, and especially right now with COVID, some people just really don't have the mental capacity right now, and some days you get burnout. And if you can think of any more ideas or concepts about communication that I missed, I would love to hear it. And for the second part, I really love the collaborative poster strategy from chapter 5 in the readings. I found this on page 95 of Improving Adolescent Literacy, and I feel like it suits my needs as an educator because it gives each student in the group a different colored marker, and it kind of pushes to hold each student accountable. So I know that one assignment for the reading class we took during last fall, we did this, and we did it in a shared Google Doc, and each member had their own different color. And a way that I kind of would alter this strategy was to assign a color with a role with your person. So each person has a specific color and a specific role. And when replying with the Google Doc that we did, we used the talk to communicate strategy by responding to people with each individual name. So I would say, hey, John, what did you think about this? Or how can you add on to what I'm saying? And it kind of helped to use direct questions and comments with the person's name so everyone else in the group would know who you were responding to. And Miss Gentry in the book shares her thoughts about it in the textbook when she states, not only could I see the student's individual contribution to the end product, but the students could gauge this on his or her own work as it developed. When you don't see much of your own ink, you know you need to step it up. It's become a great way for the groups to monitor their own work along the way and not have to wait until the end of the project to voice their concerns. And I really couldn't agree more. I feel like, especially in an art class, using different colors for different people's work is just a great idea. And my post question at the end is, do you all have any ideas on how to use instructional scaffolding to improve a child's reading ability to get them to be able to read on grade level texts? I'd love to hear if you guys had any suggestions, and I look forward to talking with y'all.